Late one night, my fiance and I were in bed. The house was quiet, and he was fast asleep. Unfortunately for me, I was restless. I looked over his shoulder to the closet at the end of the room. There was an old skinny man reaching out with long, claw-like fingers on him. He appeared to drift from the end of the room towards us, all the while reaching out his long, thin arms and knife-like fingers. I freaked out and hid under the covers. I laid there, hiding, wishing he would disappear. The following morning, I mentioned it to my partner. He went on to tell me that his ex used to tell me she felt as if she could see Freddy Krueger in the same spot. Nothing happened too soon after. We simply joked about it and put it behind us. Months later, we had our daughter, and things started to happen again. Everything electrical in the house would start flickering or pulsing, and sometimes I would hear footsteps upstairs when no one is there. One evening, I was washing up, as I was home alone with only my baby daughter, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a figure step out into the doorway. It looked that much human, standing about 6 foot. I thought it was my fiancé home, but when I turned to look at it properly, about to say hi, there was nothing there. Much later on, our daughter was about 6 months old, and she went into the walker for the first time. She was in a happy place, minding her own innocent business, when her head jolted forward. It looked exactly like someone just slapped the back of her head. She began screaming in pain. Later that night, she was very unsettled. She was hysterical and really didn't want to be in her cot, or even the room itself. So I had her sleep in my room. This was unlike her. She was quite an independent baby. The next day, as I went about the house, I came into her room. It was trashed. Drawers were open. Clothes and toys were everywhere. I picked up her toys and put everything back into its place. At this point, the house was really starting to get to me. On a few occasions, I thought I could hear a man's voice talking to her in her room through the wall, and she would talk back. I can hear her clearly babbling like how toddlers do. I can never make out what she says. It's really muffled. She never seems unnerved. It's as though she's engaging in a simple conversation. I would just dismiss it as being my mind playing tricks on me. A few nights later, and my fiancé was working late, I decided to sleep in with my daughter in my room. It was this night I had a vivid nightmare. It was like I was floating slowly through the house. Everything had this eerie blue drained look to it. In the distance, I could hear screams of my daughter. I urged myself up the stairs. As I came up to the hallway, I saw him again. The thin, old man, draped in black, with his long, thin arms. He was scraping at the door with his long, sharp fingers. He then turned to look at me. His eyes were hollow, his face white. He lifted his long arms towards me, and I woke up to a hot sensation, like the feeling when you spill coffee on your arm. I pulled back the covers, and I found several long scratch marks along my forearm. Last night, it sounded like someone was running their nails down the wall in the hall. And the next day, just inside my daughter's room, on the wall, it was as though somebody had taken a knife and just went crazy at the wall. There were scratches everywhere. Sometimes, either the lounge or my daughter's room starts filling up with this scent of smoke. When this happens, the noise would start. It's like the same noise that happens when someone's trying to strike a lighter. My daughter is now 1, and she points at empty spaces and says, "Look," all the time, and will mostly start screaming or crying, shouting, "No, no, no, go away," and will only calm down if we go into a different room. She has also started saying, "Ghost." I have no idea where this has come from. When my younger sister came over to babysit, she explained to me that when she was upstairs, she had the feeling of being watched. When she entered my daughter's room and stood facing the cot, she felt like someone was standing in the corner behind her. Most of all, she didn't feel safe at top of the stairs. She explained it felt like someone's there behind her, and that something dreadful was going to happen. Just the other day, I was in the back garden, and my daughter's curtains were open. I had this horrific feeling that someone is in the window, staring down at me. I wondered to myself whether I should look up. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another terrifying tale. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Your support will bring many more terrors along the way. Also, be sure to check us out on Facebook and share the night terrors. And remember, the only thing scarier than a nightmare is waking up.